My name is Dr. Paul Stuart Wichansky. I'm a motivational speaker and an author. I was born with a disability called Cerebral Palsy and an associated hearing loss. Many people will think that these disabilities rob the person of a normal life, but I would argue the exact opposite. If we surround ourselves with family and friends and work hard and achieving what we can achieve, then we can transform that disability into an opportunity for self-improvement over time. I was a child with special abilities. My parents called them special abilities, but I looked at it as disability. So I try to be positive and motivated, and my teachers inspire me over the years. But then in 9th grade, I encountered a bullying episode where the senior football jock comes up behind me in the cafeteria, actually lifts me up and dumps me in the cafeteria garbage can, and then parades me around the cafeteria while I was in the garbage can. Immediately that day, I went to the principal and I explained to him what went on. And I added, please don't get the jock in trouble. Don't punish him. So I did not know this, but the principal suspended the jock for 3 days. I learned years later that the principal would have suspended him longer had I not asked for leniency. About 22 years later, 2 years ago, the same jock finds me on Facebook, does not add me as a friend, but he sends me a profound apology, apologizing for his actions all those years ago, because he has kids now, and he understands that what he did was so cruel. And he ended the message by saying, Paul, if you forgive me, please add me as a friend. So he didn't add me. He asked me to add him. I smiled and I clicked add friend, because people can change when we become educated about the differences we all share. And those differences should always be celebrated and never ridiculed. And the favorite part of the story is forgiveness. It's always a sign of strength, never a sign of weakness. So when you forgive someone, you're taking all that hate, all that anger, all that frustration, and you're just letting it go. And it allows you to become happier and hopeful, and the world just seems better. So I encourage you to forgive someone who wronged you in the past. Who knows, you might even make a new friend. The first thing I learned was the importance of a sense of independence for a child with special abilities. Now, I didn't realize how critical that was until many years later when I was giving an assembly to a 9th grade audience at a local high school, and there was a student in the back of the room, a girl, who had her head down for that whole hour I was talking, and she was afraid to look up at me. And I was wondering, is she playing Game Boy or something? Why isn't she looking up? Until the end of the assembly, where all the students leave, and she finally looks up at me, walks a little unsteadily towards me, and says, Paul, I also have cerebral palsy. I smiled at her, and I said, but it doesn't need to have you. And the next year, 1 year later, when she was a sophomore, I got an email from her, and she thanked me for coming to her class last year. And I learned that 2 years later, when she graduated high school, she was nominated the Student of the Year for the entire state of New Jersey. Something happened in the 9th grade classroom. First of all, you need friends and family. They're critical, all right? If you strive to be the best you could be, if you work hard in your academics, in your personal life and professional life, if you try to surround yourself with people who inspire you and uplift you, that's the ingredients for success. And I believe that it's very important to make sure your name becomes a symbol for success. When people think of your name, I want them to think qualities like courage, discipline, motivation, empathy, and sensitivity, because those are qualities for any leader of the community. Nobody can be Dr. Paul better than I can. Nobody can be you better than you are.